Hey everyone, and welcome students of Genesis International College to this critical explainer for Topic 1, Plan and Prepare. Today, we're taking standard safety protocols and transforming them into your absolute ultimate on-site defense against asbestos in the painting industry. Whether you're brand new to the trades or you're just here to solidify what you already know, mastering the planning and prep phase isn't just about ticking boxes for compliance. It is quite literally about saving lives, yours, your workmates, and your clients. So, let's get focused.
Here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover what is asbestos, identifying the threat, the planning process, a deep dive into planning and preparation, tools and equipment, and finally, getting ready for the work area. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. What is asbestos? Let's take a look at the threat and its massive legacy in the building industry.
You know, asbestos actually has a pretty wild history. Its use started way back in the late 1800s, and then boom, from the 1920s through the 1980s, its popularity absolutely skyrocketed. It was everywhere. We didn't really start phasing it out of the building industry until the 90s, and it finally got totally banned here in Australia on December 31st, 2003. Now, why does this timeline matter to you? Well, because of those decades of widespread use, you are absolutely going to run into it in existing structures today, even though it's been banned for over 20 years now.
So, what are we actually dealing with here? Basically, asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral fiber. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. These fibers are completely microscopic. They are so incredibly tiny that they can easily, and I mean accidentally, be released right into the air. Think about it. If you aren't absolutely sure what materials contain it, just grabbing a simple sanding block to prep for a painting job could unleash literally thousands of these invisible fibers. And that puts your health and the health of everyone around you at severe risk.
Moving on to Section 2, identifying the threat. Our main challenge here is figuring out how to spot a hidden hazard. Take a look at this old corrugated roof material. See those frayed, white, kind of fluffy-looking edges along the break? Yeah, those are exposed, highly dangerous asbestos fibers. This is what we call non-fireable asbestos. That basically means the asbestos is locked up tight in a solid material like cement, so you can't just crumble it with your bare hands. But the moment it gets damaged, broken, cut, or sanded, that's when the deadly hazard underneath gets exposed. As a painter and decorator, you've got to actively keep your eyes peeled for damaged edges like this whenever you're sizing up a site.
To properly identify the threat, you need to know the different forms it takes. There are 6 main types, and they're cleanly grouped into 2 main families. First up, we've got the serpentine family. This includes chrysotile, or white asbestos, which was by far the most widely used. Then you have the amphibole family. This one covers amosite, which is brown asbestos, and chrysodolite, the blue asbestos. The blue one is often considered even more dangerous because its fibers are literally like tiny, sharp needles. This family also includes actinolite, anthophyllite, and tremolite. The bottom line, every single one of these is incredibly hazardous, and they all demand extreme caution.
Now, since you can't just rely on your naked eye to spot microscopic fibers, you have to strictly follow a procedural method. Step 1. Audit the construction materials used on site. Keep a sharp eye out for things like old cement sheeting or vinyl tiles. Next, consult the original technical plans, specs, and talk to the designers if you can. Step 3. Have a chat with long-term site workers or occupants to see what kind of historical maintenance has happened over the years. After that, do a really thorough visual walkthrough. And here's a huge tip. Always assume inaccessible cavities are hazardous until you can prove otherwise. Finally, document the whole thing. Take clear photos and keep organized written notes.
All right, Section 3, the planning process. Let's look at the official industry standard workflow for this.
When it comes to encapsulating non-friable asbestos, there is a distinct 4-step process you have to follow. Step 1 is planning and preparation. Step 2 is defining and preparing the work area. Step 3 is the actual encapsulation itself, and Step 4 is the site cleanup. Now, for the rest of this explainer, we are completely zoning in on mastering that very first foundational step, planning and preparation.
Which brings us to Section 4, a deep dive into plan and prepare. Time to look at the meticulous administrative work required. Okay, let's get into it. Your administrative prep is literally your first line of defense. Before you even think about picking up a tool, you've got to read and interpret your work instructions. These combine info from the plans, the clients, and specific safety procedures for your role. You have to comb through those plans, specs, and drawings so you know the exact circumstances where asbestos might be hiding on your specific site. Plus, you need to plan your tasks to strictly comply with legislation, the National Construction Code, and workplace health and safety guidelines, all while nailing down the precise quality requirements for the job at hand. It's a lot, but it is absolutely essential. Section 5. Tools, Equipment, and PPE. Time to select your gear and your personal protective equipment.
All right, once the paperwork and the administrative planning are sorted out, it's time to organize the physical gear that stands between you and this microscopic hazard. Your work instructions are going to dictate exactly what you need. You've got to identify, select, and rigorously check every single tool. Having the right tools and flawless personal protective equipment, or PPE, is what keeps you efficient, guarantees a top-notch job, and most importantly, prevents fatal exposure. Never, ever use something that could lead to an accident. And listen, if you spot any faults in your tools or your PPE during these checks, you must report them immediately. Do not risk it.
There's this old saying in the industry, don't be a tool. It's a little cheeky, sure, but the message is incredibly serious. Manufacturer specs vary wildly depending on the brand, model, or type of equipment you're using. You can't just assume that because you're familiar with one brand's encapsulation material or mask, another brand is going to work the exact same way. Always review the manufacturer instructions before you start working.
And finally, Section 6. Ready for the work area. Let's bridge the gap from theory to reality.
This is where the rubber meets the road. It's right here that you take everything we've just covered, all of this rigorous planning and prep, and put it directly into action. Your very next move will be safely defining and securing your physical work area. Look, good preparation is the ultimate key to getting the job done safely, compliantly, and efficiently. It's the solid foundation that actually keeps you alive on site.
To wrap up this explainer for Genesis International College, I want to leave you with a crucial, provocative thought to kick around with your trainer today. We know asbestos fibers are microscopic and extremely deadly, right? So, if you were to skip these preparation steps, what simple, everyday painting and decorating activities could accidentally unleash these invisible killers on your next job site? Just think about sanding, scraping, drilling. Think about it, discuss it with your class, and most importantly, prepare for it. Thanks so much for tuning in and stay safe out there.